Now, TVC News has gained access to the apartment where Super TV CEO Michael Osifo Ataga was allegedly murdered. Senior correspondent Ivy Kano reports that the man arrested and released by the police is actually not the prime suspect's biological father.
With so many conspiracy theories flying all over the social media, TVC News decided to dig deeper into the background of the girl who is in the eye of the storm. Now, after the death of Michael Osifo on the 15th of June, Chidimma was traced to her residence, which is right behind me, on 23rd of June, Wednesday, around 9 p.m. And she was arrested with her guardian, Mr. Ojukwu. Though we were allowed access into her Yaba residence, no one was available to speak with us. The case wasn't any different, as those living on the same street acknowledged knowing her, but refused speaking on camera. Students at the University of Lagos Akoka described Chidimma's action as shocking and not reflective of those in the institution.
Actually very shocking, and it's like unbelievable. It's something you'd definitely not think about that it's possible to happen, but it just threw like the university community into shock.
We are all students. That's the part she chose, because they should not blame the school for anything. The school is not. We are all adults, so you're all responsible, or you're all in charge, or take responsibility for all our actions.
There's no justification for what she did, because taking somebody's life is not something that should be justifiable. Whatever she did out there, it's like a bad name to the school. Like, the reputation of the school is at stake. But we all know that there's no way it will affect the school, because it's a personal life and it has nothing to do with the school.
The case that happened is a case of bad parenting, because if the foundation is not well laid out, that's where we have excesses like this. So, and this sends out a warning note to parents out there that they should be cautious of their children and the activities they operate on.
Our next stop was the crime scene. We are right here in front of the apartment where the mother took in. We are told that between Sunday, where they checked into this apartment, Osifo's family and friends were still able to communicate with him, not until Tuesday/Wednesday night, when they couldn't reach him. Now we'll walk in and see, although the police are not allowing us access because it's a crime scene, we'll see the little details that we can get inside. It's a one-bed short-let apartment. From the entrance, our camera could see the kitchen, which is enclosed with the room. Blood stains still evident on the bedspread and sheets. The room all scattered. We also noticed a huge chunk of blood clot on the floor. This seems to be a tough case, but security expert Dennis Amakri commended the police for what they have achieved so far and says more can be done.
No, in Lagos State they have forensic investigators that were recently trained. They should go in there, look at the place very, very well, and see whether somebody was trying to wash off the evidence that was apparent in that room. And then, of course, the position of where the body lies. Where was he? How was he stabbed? Was he stabbed by her? What is her height as considered to his own height? We have to know. And then the angle of strike, we have to know that. So if the angle of strike and the height does not rhyme properly, it will show that there were other people that were in that room doing this particular thing with her. And then, of course, look at the body, and then, of course, look at the room itself, and of course, other evidences must be there, because there's no crime that does not leave evidence in its trail, no matter how you try to be clever and clean it up. So telephone records, I think they've not looked into that to know the people she has been communicating with, before and after she has been discovered. So if we know the telephone log, and with the help of the service providers, we should be able to know who has been talking to her and stuff like that.
Meanwhile, family of the late Michael Osifo released a statement seeking more discreet investigation by the police. They also asked that they be left alone to grieve their son. Meanwhile, our sources say that Mr. Ojukwu, who many believed was Chidimma's biological father, is not but her guardian. Her name at birth was Chidimma Blessing Ebuchu. She's actually the second child of late Mr. Michael Ebuchu and Mrs. Kate Ebuchu, both of Imo State, and not from Ababu Arochukwu, Abia State, as being reported in the media. Her biological parents separated in the late 90s, and when her father, Michael Ebuchu, died in 2019, her mother, Kate Ebuchu, went on to remarry and now bears Kate Dibia. Our sources further revealed that Chidimma, on her own volition, made Mr. Ojukwu her legal guardian as a way of showing appreciation for re-enrolling her in school in 2014, sponsoring her in school, training her in fashion design, modeling, executive ushering, and beauty therapy. Mr. Ojukwu, we were told, does not intend to abandon her in these trying times. According to information, Michael Ataga had 2 houses on the island, one in VGC and another in Banana Island. The car which the late Mr. Ataga drove to the apartment is still at the police station. As it stands, only Chidimma holds the answer to the many holes in her recent statement when she was paraded by the police. Many are of the view that she may not have acted alone and wants the police to extend their dragnet further to unravel what and why this happened. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos.